Let's talk about Clarence Thomas and the greed that came out, the fraud.
This corn.
Blair, you don't like us, eh? You make us talk about Clarence Thomas.
As I said, I took today off. Like I saw, so someone else has to intro this. I saw of this story, but I don't know enough of it to really.
Okay.
It's a really like multifaceted story too. It's a hard one to just talk about on the fly. But basically,
I did a video on it today. I can.
Then go ahead, Mike. Yep, I know that he's been flying around the world on big expensive trips, on big expensive private planes, living the high life on his 250 some odd K public servant salary. But the way he's paying for it is he's not paying for it. It's all courtesy of a billionaire Republican.
Yeah, so right after Justice Clarence Thomas was confirmed to the Supreme Court, Harlan Crow, GOP mega donor, real estate magnate, basically became friends with him. And they got really close over 2 decades. He took Clarence Thomas on his super yacht, let him stay at his resorts, his ranch in Texas, took him on all these trips to Indonesia, around the world. And these trips, like individually, if Thomas and Ginny paid for it themselves, it'd be like some of them upwards of $500,000. But this happened for decades, and none of them were disclosed. Not a single one of them were disclosed. Now, the thing about the Supreme Court justices is that, their code of conduct says that they should avoid the appearance of impropriety. Should makes it pretty optional. But they do have to disclose these gifts that they get. Like members of Congress, they can't take a gift worth more than $50. And if somebody wants to sponsor a trip for them, they have to get that approved by an ethics commission. But for Supreme Court justices, those same rules don't necessarily apply. But Thomas was so brazen that he didn't even let anyone know that this was happening. Like, you're supposed to like fill out these financial disclosures saying, hey, I got this gift. And on top of that, with these meetings and stuff, so Harlan would let him meet with other rich people. They'd have barbecues together. There's actually a photograph online of Clarence Thomas with like a bunch of like rich dudes who are all super wealthy. But we don't really have to worry about this because Harlan Crow claims that he's not trying to influence Clarence Thomas politically. So nothing to see here. So that's the crux of the story. That's the TLDR version of the story. Yeah, that's the picture right there.
My boy is a fly in the milk. Oh my god!
I will say that the artist behind this is amazing. I thought it was a photo when I first saw it. It's not.
It's a painting, apparently.
It's a painting.
Apparently, it looks
someone
really...
sat and painted this.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this was a painting.
It says right there, a painting.
It's very well done. I mean, when you got billionaires doing this, they pay for the most.
Right. I mean, obviously they were sitting there while the guy painted it. I mean, this obviously is a portrayal of what happened, but it's a painting. Yeah.
What is that in his hand?
Yeah, there's also other conflicts of interest to kind of point out. So Crow donated to this
statue.
Oh yeah.
Oh great.
I didn't even notice that.
Cigar in his hand, khakis and sandals. It's hell.
It's hell.
The sandals. Yeah. So Harlan Crow, Clarence Thomas's sugar daddy, also donated to the Tea Party organization that Ginny Thomas worked for.
Sorry.
Huh?
Call him Clarence Thomas's sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I had to contain myself.
No.
I mean, look at this. Look at this place they stayed at. Like,
that's some cold shit. I ain't gonna lie, but it's true though. We call him a blesser. We call him a financier.
I mean, look at how happy he is. I mean, who would think that his decisions were influenced here by all of this?
Bitch. Look at him. He is just an IG influencer. All he need to do is just put his ass on the sink and like sugar daddy galore. Like, look at him. That is giving. It's giving like sugar baby on on vacation. That the sugar daddy paid for. Like, he's not in the picture himself. It's just him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Can't take it.
Yeah, it's just the level of shamelessness here with this corruption is fucking insane. It is genuinely insane. Like, the story itself is very, very long. Like, I barely scratched the surface. Like, they detail specific trips that they took, all the times that he went up in his private jet. went on the super yacht. I'd never heard of a super yacht. I knew that there were yachts for rich people, but apparently there's a super yacht, which is like a giant hotel on water that Clarence Thomas and Ginny stayed at. It is incomprehensible, but at the same time, like it's not surprising at all. Like I don't think anyone is surprised by this story. Because this is just like, I think that AOC put it best in a tweet talking about this, where she said that this is kind of like what the Roberts Court is, like the decline of democracy, the rollback of civil rights, and just rampant corruption that is so in your face that they don't even care.
Man, look at this shit. I hate this. This is setting me back. This is setting civil rights back. Like this right here, this image right here, man. This is a microaggression.
In Indonesia.
What happened to your boy on the side? Like, oh man, I hate this. Look at you.
Yeah.
So I did see that AOC said that if no one else introduces articles of impeachment, then she will. But is that going to go anywhere with the current makeup of Congress? I don't. I was shocked.
That's the thing. I mean, Dick Durbin, who's the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, says that they're going to act because this is so brazen. Like he has to at least pretend like he's going to do something. But I mean, at the end of the day, does anyone expect impeachment to come of this, or even like a minimal amount of accountability? Of course, nothing's going to happen. That's why they do it, because they know that they can get away with it. Like that's why it's as brazen as it is. Because I mean, we're all going to like go tisk tisk, like wag our fingers at Clarence Thomas, but nothing's going to happen. Like that's why this happens, and it's not just like Clarence Thomas. Like this is a microcosm of a bigger issue with government, but like there's a level of shamelessness that really I think is the subtext here, where it's like he just for decades didn't give a flying fuck, didn't disclose any of this.
Yep. So his failure to report the flights appears to violate a federal disclosure law passed after Watergate. According to experts, by accepting the trips, Thomas has broken long-standing norms for judges' conduct, ethics experts, and for current or retired federal judges. Said.
Yeah. Welcome to America, folks. I mean.
Again, the most shocking part about this isn't that it even happened, and I think that's what's particularly messed up here. We're not shocked that this occurred. We're kind of like, okay, yeah, this is exactly confirmation of what we thought was going on. We're just kind of messed up over how much audacity he had to just do this for so many years. That's what's upsetting. We're just like, yeah, we kind of knew this was going on. We just didn't have proof of it. But wow, it was really bad. Like, this is sad.
Yeah. And what's especially stunning is that like our corruption laws and like ethics standards are already so low. So like when somebody actually breaks campaign finance law, potentially like Donald Trump, or violates the minimal amount of ethics requirements that are for Supreme Court justices, like there's already so little. So if you can't even abide by those lax rules, then like what do you even say to that? I mean, all you had to do was tell everyone, hey, this dude is taking me on his super yacht. And he did it again. Actually, every year we go for 9 days to his ranch in Texas. That's all that you have to do. You just disclose it. And sure, people will criticize you, but like, what the fuck are they gonna do? But he couldn't even disclose it. Like, this is corruption in America. Like, they don't give a shit at all.
That confirms there was baloney going on for sure. Something was afoot.
And like this is tactical because like I see this a lot in the Bahamas too. Like where we don't put on seatbelts when we're in cars in the Bahamas because like we don't feel as though there's any consequence, but we do as soon as we go to Miami because there's like this respect for this rule of law, like this idea that you will be held accountable. And I'm seeing like this, like just decadence coming, like this decline of rule of law being seen on a regular basis. And the danger of that is that it corrodes this belief in systems. I mean, you shouldn't believe it, but now you're getting this different, like this disenfranchisement on an individual level when they're saying, okay, my elected officials are being blatantly like just scummy, unctuous, like they're embezzling funds, they're paying off porn stars, they're doing all of these things. Ex-presidents are going to jail. All of these things are happening with impunity. So I mean, like, why should I like even believe in the checks and balances? Like when I came to the States, the thing that we always talked about is just like, oh, like checks and balances, like the States is so efficient and like things are just done so above board and behind, like over the books. And the Bahamas is just like, we don't like to, like, there's so many, as Alami was saying, like there's so many bribe systems, there's so many different transactions that happen that are not above board. And really, it's not that it wasn't happening in the States. It's just like now it's become so quotidian, so bold and brazen that you can't even say that. Like, and that's why it's so silly when like Americans like criticize banana republics talking about their free and fair elections when you all see what happening. Ain't no January 6th over here. Like, I mean, like, ain't none of this happening. We have free and fair elections with very great political participation.